There are 3 dairy products that we consume a lot of in this household besides milk itself, and that is plain white yogurt, cottage cheese, and ice cream. And so I thought it is time I give it a try and see if I can make all of those myself. I, of course, looked up the recipes and procedures online. There is, I would say, varying levels of difficulty. Like some recipes seem to be a little bit more kind of process intensive, or how to say this. Some seem to be more simple. I will, of course, go for the more simple ones. So it does look like it is fairly simple to make all 3, but I still have to overcome the newness of it. Since I've never done anything like this before, it's just a lot of mental load to jump into something new like this. And I know because I've experienced this with sourdough bread as well. I've worked for months, like working up the courage to make sourdough bread. And now 2 years later, I don't even give it a second thought. If I want to make bread, I just immediately pull things out, pull it together, don't have to look at a recipe or anything. I've also simplified the process for myself quite a bit. You've seen those experiments, and now it's like, it's the easiest thing ever. But if you were to ask me 2 years ago, I would have thought that this is like, wow, making bread yourself, that's like, I don't know if I can do that. So it's kind of the same thing now when I'm about to try these 3 things. But I'm sure that once I overcome this initial, resistance, this is something new, I have no idea how to do it, I have 0 experience with it, but once I do it a couple times, I'm sure that, it will be no issue at all. So let's dive into it and see how I do. I want to start with yogurt first, and then during the week, I'll see if I get to the cottage cheese and ice cream as well. All right, I'm starting with yogurt first. And yes, if you've noticed, I have a different shirt than in the intro, but this is still the same day. It's just that I have a baby and a toddler at home. And if you have little kids, then you know that you need to change shirts often. Anyways, I have the 2 things that I should need, and that is some milk and some yogurt. I got both at the store. This is an UHT milk, the ultra high temperature processed or whatever. So like the ultra processed one, which from what I have read should still be fine to make yogurt. Maybe not the nicest or the most tasty yogurt, but it should still work. And this is just like a plain white yogurt with, hopefully the way I'm reading it is, it does say that it has the yogurt cultures in it. So again, I believe that this should work. What I also have is a thermometer, because from the instructions that I've looked at, it does talk about temperatures a lot, that you're supposed to either like boil the milk or bring it to somewhere around 90 degrees or over 90 degrees. Then let it cool down to about 42 to 45 degrees. And I'm talking Celsius, by the way, so degrees Celsius. Then add the cultures into it and then let it sit at that temperature for a couple hours so that it sets, and then you can put it into the fridge. Now, you know me, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I'm not a fan of these like precise measurements or scientific like procedures. So I am pretty sure that I'm going to ditch this thing very quickly. But every time I make something completely new, like something I have no experience with, I do like to follow the instructions first, just as I have found them, before I start simplifying the process for myself. So this time I am going to use this to make sure that I'm doing the right temperatures, and then we'll see how it goes. Okay, this is the next day, and what you just saw was me shuffling the yogurt around in a couple different places. So at first, I thought I was going to use the oven, but then I realized I'm about to make a cake, and I need the oven to bake the cake, so I couldn't put the yogurt in there. So instead, I've put it into the microwave. Then later that evening, we needed the microwave to heat up our food for dinner, so I had to move it into the oven, which by then was still a little bit warm from the cake baking. So it was in the oven, and then just before I was going to bed, I took it out. I saw that it was still not completely solidified, or at least it didn't look like that, but I've put it into the fridge anyways, thinking from my sourdough experience that even though fermentation slows down with the lower temperature in the fridge, it still keeps going. So I thought, well, this is just gonna keep going in the fridge anyways, just at a much lower rate. And this morning, well, it is already like 10:30 in the morning, I have just pulled it out. As you can see, it is more solid than what it was when I was putting it into the fridge. And I'm about to do a taste test. So, the jar is open. It smells exactly like the yogurt that I was using to make this. And let's see. Ooh, this is actually, is the camera picking this up? I hope it is. It is really quite solid. So let's see. Ooh, it is so much more fluffier than the yogurt that I was using for this, but it has pretty much the exact same taste. I really like this. I think that I can call this a success. From now on, I'm not buying yogurt at the store. Maybe I won't be as strict as that, but I really like this. Okay, we are on to cottage cheese now. All right, the baby has decided to join us for this fun little experiment. So the recipe I have looked up for cottage cheese said that I'm going to need milk, which I actually got a less processed version of milk this time around. And then it said that you are going to need either wine vinegar or lemon juice. I don't have either, but what I do have is citric acid. So I mixed that with a little bit of water, and I'm pretty sure that that should work the same way as the lemon juice. So hopefully it does. And then just some salt for flavoring at the very end. And the process starts the same way as for yogurt, which is to heat up the milk. Then you put in the citric acid, let it sit for a little bit, and then drain off the excess, whey from the cheese, and then have the cheese sit in your fridge and you should be done. So let's see how that works. So the recipe said that after combining the milk, the heated up milk, with the lemon juice or the wine vinegar, you should let it sit for about 30 minutes. And after those 30 minutes, you should see curds forming and, the cheese forming. Well, that didn't happen. So what happened was that it was still very much milk with just a few stringy pieces on top. I unfortunately didn't get footage of that. So at that point, not before then, at that point, I Googled whether you can actually use citric acid to make cottage cheese. That's usually how I roll. I will just think something should work. I don't research it. I try it out. If it doesn't, that's when I start Googling. So I Googled and it actually should work. So I then also Googled why is my cottage cheese not curdling, and basically the answer was any of the ingredients could be wrong and any part of the process could be wrong. So for me, it came down to two potential things. Either I didn't heat up the milk as much as I should have. I only got it to like 88 degrees Celsius. It was supposed to go over 90, but I was thinking like, is 2 degrees really that much of a difference? Or it also said that there wasn't enough of the citric acid or just the acid added into it. So I was thinking that maybe one of those two things, and that I would just give it another shot. So that's what I did. I used that same milk. I kept it in the same pot with the, citric acid in it. Oh, and last thing was just to give it more time. So I actually did. I waited a couple more hours, but nothing was still happening. So after about 3 hours, I decided, let's try this again. So I heated up that pot with, again, like that same milk with some of the citric acid in it already. This time I made sure to go over the 90 degrees, and then I added like 2 more teaspoons or tablespoons of the citric acid, and it looks like it worked. It looks like I've got some curds in it, and so what I'm going to do now is strain it through a fine sieve and let it sit for a little bit more time so that more of the liquid can drain off, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll have some cheese that's not going to be somehow super sour and acidic, and I'll get to enjoy it for dinner. Got some cottage cheese and I'm very happy with it. It's quite different from the cottage cheese I'm used to. Probably also because I haven't refrigerated it yet, but it's super fluffy and soft and nice, and I love it. It's great. Now, I have to figure out what to do with all of this whey. If you have any ideas, please let me know down in the comments. And what you saw me do was also weight the cottage cheese, because I wanted to figure out how much am I making. So from the 1 liter of milk that I used, I made about 220 grams of the cottage cheese, and I figured out that means that I'm making this at about the third of the price of like the regular cottage cheese that I buy at the store, which I feel like is a pretty good deal. Not mind-blowing, like it's still, pennies I'm saving, but hey, it's a nicer product and it's cheaper, so why not? I think that is another success. And last but not least, let's make some ice cream. Okay, change of plans. There won't be any ice cream in this video. I feel like I have done enough new things for the time being. I'm really glad both of those were a success, and my brain is done with new experiments for now. So no ice cream. Also, the weather has not been all that nice and hot lately, so I don't feel like wanting to eat ice cream. So anyways, no ice cream here, but I do have a little bit more of an update on the cottage cheese, or really I guess just fresh cheese. It reminds me more of a different kind of cheese, maybe even more like a ricotta style cheese than cottage cheese what I'm making here. So anyways, I've done that now 2 times since you saw me do it for the first time. I just love it so much. I'm able to eat like the whole 200 grams in just one sitting for one dinner. I'm really big fan of that. And what I've tried to do is I've tried to make that same cheese with the whey again, because I actually Googled, since you saw that last clip, I Googled what to do with whey from cheese making, and it basically said that you can kind of repeat this process, I guess, indefinitely, like just use the whey instead of the milk and do the same thing. So heat it up, add the acid, whether that's lemon juice, the citric acid, the wine vinegar, whatever, and it should again curl and make you more cheese. So I thought, well, that sounds perfect. Let's try that. And so you can see some of the footage here, but unfortunately it just didn't work. So the same thing happened as with the first time when I was making the cheese, like nothing happened. The curds didn't form. So you can kind of see how it looks like there's just a few like stringy bits, and I did heat it up over 90 degrees. I've used quite a bit of the citric acid. So what I decided to try is again the same thing I did with the first time of cheese making. So I just took off a little bit of the liquid so that I have a little bit more space in that pot. I again heated it up to over 90 degrees and again added more of the citric acid, but this time that didn't work. It stayed the exact same liquid consistency, no curds forming, nothing happening. When I tasted it, it tasted really sour. So I just ended up throwing that away. So I don't have any more whey right now, but I'm still looking for ideas what to do with it because I definitely want to make more cheese. So we'll have more whey in the future. So that's on that adventure. So that's what I need to figure out, how to use up that leftover liquid, because I really don't like the idea of wasting it and just throwing it away. So again, if you have any suggestions, please let me know down in the comments. And then one comment on the yogurt, what I need to figure out is how to make it a little bit thicker. Because what I have found is that there is that top, like the top layer, the top, maybe like this much in the jar is really quite nice, like really nice, thick-ish, but still fluffy. But then the rest of it was a lot more liquidy. And again, I have done yogurt again 2 more times since you saw me do it for the first time, and it just turned out the same way, even though I actually left it at room temperature for a little bit longer the next time around. But it was still the same, like the top layer was more thick, but then the bottom was a lot more liquidy. So if you have any ideas, I haven't gotten to Googling that yet. I'm sure I will at some point, but if you have any ideas and suggestions, comment down below. And so that will be it for this video. I'm so glad I finally got myself to try this. It was so easy to do it. I don't know what took me so long to get to it, and I can't wait to make more yogurt and cheese from now on. And that will be it for this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye.